Yeah, it's a credit to them and their investment in the program and what they do for one another. I think it's very collaborative in nature in terms of how they operate. I've always told them that these things seem to happen when you do things for other people. And although they invest individually, their focus is group related, and because of that, some nice things happen to them individually. So, yeah, I'm always happy when that happens. Gives them opportunities, and whether they take it now or take it later, it's good to be rewarded in that regard.
What are your impressions of Duke so far?
Well, I've got a lot. I mean, they can really pitch. They pitched really well last weekend, and they pitched really well over the course of the season. They execute. Offensively, they have a lot of good parts. I think what Chris has done with that team is he's been able to integrate other kids when guys have gone down with injuries, and they've performed really well. And I think they're a team that is a good sum of their parts. They play well together. They're very confident. And they went down to West Virginia and won a very difficult regional, which I thought was one of the most difficult regionals that was set up. At A&M, and we obviously saw them, and West Virginia was very good, and Fordham presents a challenge with their running game. So, and to win it 3 games, it just speaks to who they are.
Tim, I know every year is different, but does this year's team remind you at all any similarities between this year's team and 2014 or 2015?
I think there's similarities in 11. I think there's similarities in 13. I think there's similarities in 15. I think the thing that is noticeable, and I've said this before, so it's not new, but it's just the consistency and the maturity. It's every day, and that has a lot to do with older guys who have been in the program for 3 and 4 years. But their just ability to stay steady and stay very present and driven in the moment is something that a lot of young kids have a hard time doing, and they seem to do it well. And they have confidence, but it's contained, and they identify with a present situation. So there are similarities with other teams, but they're definitely them.
Is there a trick to teaching maturity, or is that something you normally look for when you're looking at the player in particular during the recruitment process?
No, I think maturity is through experiences. I think you have to go through growth experiences, whether it's on the field or really off the field, and it's probably why we spend so much time in the classroom, because I don't know if I just feel like that's the challenge for me, to help them along with that, is to try to create or try to identify experiences that will happen to them, and trying to help them navigate their way through them. But maturity certainly happens with time, and it's experiences. But we cheat a little bit because we get good kids. We do, and a lot of it is their parents. So they come with a skill set in order to get there. We just help them along with it. 3 or 4 years does make a huge difference.
How does this home crowd and playing here kind of give you guys an advantage this late in the season?
Energy. I just think energy is kind of twofold. If you create it for them, it gets thrown up into the stands, and then if it gets thrown up in the stands, oftentimes it comes back down. It's the boomerang effect, which I tell them that is so important, and it's really probably the reason I talk about at the beginning of the year about brushing their teeth, because really there's more to it than brushing their teeth. It's being able to use them, which I don't very well, but they do. And really, that's the most important thing, is for them to be able to do that. So, because that creates an energy, and that creates an energy that goes up into the stands, and they get it back. It's kind of a reciprocal thing. But the fan involvement and the noise and the effort that they show towards the kids is certainly, we benefit through it.
I know you said Sunday that you continue to tell your team to get better at this time of the year. Is there any other big message you have for them at this time of the year?
No, I mean, messages right now are pretty clear. I mean, we've talked a lot, and talk can be cheap. It's just a matter of being able to do the things that they're able to do, and do them with enjoyment. I think they've earned the right to have fun. When you get to this part of the year, they should be enjoying the circumstances and the benefits of playing this deep into June.
Kind of along those lines, I know probably Coach Skittle nervous when you have younger guys who haven't really experienced for your younger guys having gone through what they went through last weekend, heading into this weekend? How do you think they responded?
The newer guys?
Yeah.
I think they did well, but I think they've got help. You know, they've got help next to them, and that help. I think there's so many messages that get passed along to other kids, whether they're young or 2 years into the program, from older kids that they wanna help them with, and I think that's the importance of age, is just their ability, and age and having the energy to share that information with them, because there are some kids who don't. You know, they can get there and just move from a younger kid, but our guys take a lot of time with those younger kids, and because they do, these kids are going to benefit from it and learn how to play in these environments with a settled heartbeat.
And I guess they're not just saying it, but they're going out there and doing it. I mean, Julian Infante in that game against Liberty went out there and took some things on his shoulders and went out there and had a great game. I mean, are those the examples you're looking for?
Yeah, modeling is always more powerful, I think, than voice. And when you model the behaviors and actions that you're looking for, the program's looking for, then it certainly, that's HD quality to the human eye. They can pick up on it quick.
What's your reaction to A.J. Franklin getting a shot at pro ball and being drafted as early as he was?
Really excited. I mean, so deserving. His first 2 years were so difficult. You know, he spent time over in the football stadium while we were training, working out with Kiambu, but diligently doing it. Then the next year, his chance, ready to go. He blows out his knee right over there on a rundown drill, and at that point right there, that was just tough to watch, because the first 2 years of the kid's athletic life are not utilized. But there's always a plan, and especially if you're a good kid, you know that will come back around if you treat the game well, if you treat life well. It rewards you, but it never rewards you on our watch. It does on its own, and I think that's what he's learned. But he's certainly, boy, what an incredible kid he is. It's fun to watch that happen to guys like him.
You've had so many years with a lot of pitchers drafted, but to have all of your draft-eligible pitchers go in the first 17 rounds, and I mean, some of them haven't pitched a ton, some are younger in the program. Just what does that say about the pedigree that being a member of the Vanderbilt staff brings from a pro ball perspective?
Well, I don't know, you're going to help us re-recruit some kids so we can have a pitching staff next year? Yeah, I just think, again, it's guys modeling pitching behaviors and them adopting them and then growing to, I mean, those kids are skilled kids. They are. And what's most difficult for us is trying to get them all some time. And as you can see, some that don't always get the time are still seen in a high regard at the professional level. So it's good for that staff, it's good for us, and certainly good for the kids.
How's Patrick doing?
Raby, good. That's another one that super happy for. What a nice gift for him. Yeah, he's given a lot to Vanderbilt. The game gave him something back today. Very happy for he and his family.
Would you like the progression he's made in a week since
Patrick,
pitching?
yeah, he's good. He's thrown 2 bullpens, so I think he's in a pretty good spot right now. And he's very healthy, so we'll be able to utilize him somehow.